Good morning, everybody. It's me, Heather Nichols, today for the Tailored Expressions Live. I saw you last week and I get to see you again this week. So I'm happy to see you guys join me today. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy that you're joining me today. When you pop in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And my goodness, we have had some winter weather going on in the United States this week, haven't we? But up here in Minnesota, we have really not had a whole lot of winter weather. So I'm actually just maybe a little bit jealous of all of you that are getting the tons of snow, because we don't have hardly any snow on the ground, maybe a couple of inches up here. The only thing that we are getting this week that is normal for Minnesota is the cold is coming this weekend. So it's still not as cold as January can be in Minnesota. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. But it is definitely going to be a cold snap from what we have been experiencing. We've had a pretty mild winter up here, and then we missed all that snow. My skier, Hannah, is having a fit because she would really like to get her skis out and do skiing, and we just don't have the snow up here. Some of the parks have made snow. My brother works at a ski hill down in the cities, and they have been making snow so that people can do the winter sports and things like that. But we just don't have it. So I'm a little bit jealous. I'm not jealous of the icy roads and that sort of thing, but I'm jealous of the snow cover. Good morning, Trisha from St. Louis. You must have gotten some of that snow. I know Jill Hawkins is out by Chicago and they got a lot of snow. I know Des Moines and Ankeny got a lot of snow. I know Kansas got a lot of snow. You guys got so much snow. Good morning. Yes, lots of... Deneen, you must be where there's snow, because there's lots of snow and slippery all around, you said. Marcia, good morning. Sherry, good morning. It's good to see all of you this morning. So I hope if you are in one of these snowy areas that you were able to be safe during all that and have fun in the snow. There's so many fun activities you can do in the snow. I am a snow girl, so I know some of you are like, no, I don't like the snow, which is kind of what this week we had our snow bundles that released. We had the Snarky Snow Bundle and the Serene Snow Bundle. And I know the Snarky one sold out, so that one is no longer available. But the Serene Snow Bundle, I believe there were still some left. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody will definitely tell me if they're sold out. But when I looked last night, there was still some of the Serene Bundle. And that bundle has products from the Snow Crystals kit that was released at the end of last year. So if you did not get that kit, that's a chance to get some of those products. So in that bundle. So that's what's going on in the Tailored Expressions land this week in the TE web store and everything, is that snow bundle. And I know that Taylor shared with you more about our pretty postage series that's going to be coming out throughout the year. This is the freebie. So last year was all of the coin dies that everybody just went crazy about. And this year we did the little, we're doing the pretty postage Serene, or I'm getting all my things mixed up. The pretty postage series for our freebies. So if you are going to try to collect them all, in the TE web store is the little collector card. I have none. So I'm right where a lot of you probably are. I got to collect all of these all throughout the year. And the other thing that you can get are the dies that coordinate with the little postage images that are coming out. So, and Taylor had a video on the blog on Tuesday and on our YouTube channel. So you can watch that to get some inspiration. This month is this cutest little snowflake ever. So I got to place an order so I can start my collection of the freebie stamps. So yes, they don't just send them to me. Well, sometimes they do, but they don't just send them to everything to me. So sometimes I have to collect just like all of you. So that's what's going on this week. There is new things coming next week that I'll share about in just a little bit, but I have a couple of kind of important announcements to tell you that are going on today. So first thing, if you are interested in the glass mat, the large magnetic glass board, you saw it on my desk, you've seen it on Taylor's desk, you've seen lots of people sharing it that have gotten theirs. Today is the last day to pre-order that. So if it has been in your mind that you might want that glass board for your crafty space, you got to get it pre-ordered. I don't know about if there's going to have any extras when all those orders come in. I have no information about any of that. I don't know that there would be any available. So if you want to be guaranteed to get one of those glass boards, you need to put that pre-order in. So do that today. Tomorrow, it won't be available. So make sure you do it today. And then the other announcement I have for you today is Virtual Stamp Joy is coming up March 8th and 9th, and we are opening up extra registration spots. So if you were thinking about it, or if you missed out on the registration for our Virtual Stamp Joy in March, you can still get in. So we have a limited amount of spots because, of course, we got to get all the supplies ready for everybody. So if you were thinking about it, definitely you can register today. So that should be on the website. There was an email that went out with all of that. You can click and get to it from the blog. We have lots of ways for you to get to where you can get more information about Virtual Stamp Joy and how to register and all the things that are going along with that. So I'm excited about that. I'll be down in Ankeny for that. And so I hope to see, we'll see you online, but I hope to see you there. I think the virtual events are really, really fun because you can interact with all of the teachers during the day and the chat on the Facebook Live groups and ask questions as we do the projects as well. And the best part is that people can join from all over the world. So I hope that you guys will join us. It's super fun. The projects are fun. I believe there's sneak peeks, I think, on some social media spots, and also I think in the email, if you're on our newsletter, there were some sneak peeks of the projects that we're going to be making. So it's going to be a good time. So definitely join us. So thank you guys for popping in today. Let's see. So next week is more Valentine. And I know a lot of you have been wondering when our kids' kit is coming out, and that would be happening next week. But we also have a couple other things that are coming out as well that would be for everybody. Although the kids' kits are super cute, and if you fall in love with them, it doesn't matter what age you are. You can order that kit and have a whole lot of fun creating with it. We have some special guests that are doing a video for us, so make sure to catch that. That'll be next Tuesday. But I don't have a peek of the kit, but I have a peek of the other things that we are releasing this next week. And so it's all about treats and fun ways to give treats to your friends and loved ones and the special people in your life, classroom people, teachers, and everything. You guys, this is just the cutest thing, and wait until you see all of the ways that the design team put these together. You would think that with this that would be like one and done, but no, there's so many fun ideas. So here it is. Look at these little strawberries. Look at them. And of course, you can fill the strawberry up with all sorts of little treats. So that's something that's coming next week, which adorable, right? So there you go. There's your peek of one of the treat things that you can do. And then the next one, this one is a fun one too. This would be fun, not just for Valentine's Day, but I think like Mother's Day, a wedding. This would be super fun. Check this out. I have a whole bouquet of flowers. You can see I've got a little sucker in the middle of that. Check that out. So how cute and how fun. I mean, totally. So I've had so much fun crafting with pink. I don't know if you've noticed there's a lot of pink happening. So those are coming next week, and you'll get more information about those, and there'll be videos out for you guys so you can see how to put all of that together as well. So we can do some Valentine treat making next week and get our kids crafty and get their Valentines put together. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Super fun to create those strawberries. So cute. Wait till you see. There was felt involved in some of the projects, and one of them, well, they're all wonderful, you guys, but Lori Craig did felt, and it's just amazing. So I can't wait for you guys to see that. All right. Are you guys ready to start crafting today? If you saw my little blurb on the video, you might have noticed that we're going to craft with Halloween products today to make a Valentine project. And maybe some of you might have an idea of what I actually used to do that. I thought about posting a sneak, but then I just couldn't get a picture that wasn't going to show, like it really kind of showed what I was using. So then I didn't post a sneak peek, but just thought you'd wait until today. So I'm going to flip you up to my ceiling. It's super high tech here in central Minnesota, and then flip you down to my workspace. So hold on just one second. All right, move my little paper so that you guys don't have to see that. And then flip you down. So look at these. So if you remember, for Halloween, I designed, and one of the products that I designed for Halloween was the potion bottles. And I'm gonna see if I have a light here that can just brighten things up just a little bit. Yep. I'll just tip it so there's not a reflection. So we're gonna create some little love potion mini cards today, which are obviously shakers as well. And it falls under our hashtag TE Maker Challenge as well, because I created a shaped card base with the potion bottle underneath. So how cute is that? All sorts of little hearts to fill up the heart potion, love potions. So the original set looks like this. It's the potion bottle and has the main part, and we'll be using basically just the main part of the potion bottles. And these are the extra accessories to make eyeballs and stars and bones to put in your Halloween potion bottles. But for Valentine's Day, we're going to add hearts. I didn't end up using the tag die, but that's also in the set. And it also comes with clear stamps with some sentiments and extra little details, which I didn't use any of those. So, but that's what this set looks like. It coordinates with the If You Dare collection, which also could be definitely transformed into a Valentine love potion theme as well by just changing up some of the colors, adding some hearts in there and things like that. I've seen some really fun projects already where people use these and made really fun like science themed cards for graduation, or just people who are into more of the science kind of theme in general versus Halloween. So I think that this set is super fun for that. So that's what that collection looked like. So we're going to use the potion bottle die collection. It was die and clear because it had the clear little stamps that go with it to create. And I've got 3 kind of pinky colors for Valentine's Day. This is bubblegum. Bubblegum is one of our newer colors, and I was kind of fun to pull that out and play with that color. I haven't done too much with that. And then I've got, this is watermelon, and then this one is lollipop. So Taylor, I used lollipop to make a cute little potion bottle. She's always teasing me that I don't use a lot of that color. I'm just not as pink. I just don't use as much pink, but definitely for Valentine's Day, we're doing it. And we're going to do it with the bubble gum so we can play with bubble gum a little bit more. And if you haven't played with bubblegum is just a really pink, it's really literally a bubblegum pink. You might think it kind of has a guava kind of feel to it, but so I thought I'd show you the comparison between bubblegum and guava. So this is bubblegum and this is guava. So guava definitely has much more of an orange tone to it than the bubblegum. They're pretty close as far as, you know, color, but this is definitely more peachy, more orangey colored than the bubblegum. You could definitely use purple as well. I see somebody bringing up purple. So let's do some die cutting first, because when you're doing a shaker little piece like that, you definitely need to get all your die cutting out of the way at the beginning. So I'll show you what you need to cut to create the actual shaker. First, we're going to take the main part of the base like this, and we're going to cut that out of a piece of plain cardstock first with that whole base. Ooh, come on, die cut machine. So I've got a base, and then I'm going to cut out my shaped card base. And we went through this last week when I made the other little heart cards. So it's the same concept, but if you haven't done it before, to create a shaped card base, which is again our TE Maker Challenge this month, you're going to take your die, and where you want the fold to be on your card is where you're going to have the die not cut. So I've got a piece of folded cardstock here. This is that bubblegum cardstock, and you're going to put where you want the fold on your card. You don't want the die to cut through it. So you could decide to put your fold in many other places. I think on the potion bottle, it makes the most sense to put it on the top. You could also put it on the side, I think, but I think for what I was thinking, I wanted it right at the top. So I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to use some tape, some removable, this is the Scotch removable tape, and tape it in place. And there you can see the actual cutting blade is not going to cut that edge of the cardstock. Carol, I would refresh or go back out and come back in to see if that helps. She's having trouble with her stream, so I don't know if that's just her or if everybody else is having issues too. I have no control over that. unless my Wi-Fi goes out. All right, so I'm just going to run this through to make my card base for the potion bottles. Hi, Lori Craig. I was talking up your strawberries earlier. And there we have our little folded card base. So now the other piece that we need is we need this frame piece that's going to give us that window for our shaker. And what you're going to do for that, and let me show you just a little tip. Maybe y'all knew this, I don't know. You have to line up this piece inside of the potion bottle to cut. So we're gonna line these up, and I'm gonna use some tape to hold them together. But I was sitting on my workspace and I was trying to line them up, and then I was getting the tape and then it was wiggling out of this place or whatever. And so I thought, what if I just made put my magnet board down? So I'm just setting these down, blade down, and that magnet panel, board, whatever you want to call it, just gives it enough grab so that it's not going to slide around on you. So you can get it lined up the way that you want, and then put your tape on to create that frame. And I think I need to adjust just a little bit before I commit here. Of course, my tape, I pushed it down too hard. There we go. It just really helped me have a little bit more control over setting up that when I have a die that I need to insert back in. You know, when you're just sitting there and you're like, this isn't working, what would work? And that worked. All right, so I've got a little bit of tape holding those dies together so I can cut out the frame. And then we're just gonna run that through the die cut machine. And obviously, if you're mass producing, don't do it one at a time. Once you have it taped into the frame design, cut out a bunch at one time. So there we have our little frame for our shaker. And then the other thing that we need to cut out is, and we're going to do that with, I don't need the frame to cut out, I want the whole piece for that, is the acetate for the shaker window, because you need something to hold all of those bits in. So I have a piece of the window acetate. I'm just going to cut out that with the die. Now, my plate here is pretty roughed up, but I found that it really doesn't bother my acetate. If you are worried about it bothering your acetate, I'd put like a piece of like printer paper down, as Taylor would say, typing paper down, to kind of make sure that it's not going to rough up the back of your acetate. Again, I used to worry about that, and then I think I cut without, and then it was like, oh, well, that really didn't do anything terrible to that acetate, so now I haven't worried about it. I'm going to cut through, and on this potion bottle, I really need just that bottom part. Sometimes with the acetate, it is a little fussy about cutting through. You can definitely use a shim, but this doesn't need to be totally pretty. So I'm just using my scissors to cut that extra piece off from there, because this is going to be kind of sandwiched in between. And then I don't need the neck of the bottle, because that's going to be all completely covered up. So I'm just going to cut here. So I basically have, this is so hard to see, the base of the potion bottle. So Paula, you said your acetate doesn't cut. It may depend on your machine. I haven't had any issues with my Big Shot cutting out. The other thing you could do is you could just trace it from a die cut piece and hand cut it out. There are different ways that you can do it. So I think part of it for me is that the pressure seems to be to help to cut through it. Like I said, you can layer some cardstock underneath. That might be enough too. Even just some printer paper. You can give that a try, but you'll have to try to see what works best with your machine. I'm looking for my adhesive, which seems to be, up here. Okay, so we'll get that ready. Inside my shaker, I did a little bit of shading just to add some extra dimension. I don't know if you can see it back there because of course it's pretty subtle because it's behind all of those hearts, but just to give a little bit of extra texture behind everything. So I'm going to take the heart and we're going to shade it with some Lollipop ink. The one thing I have found that I just really love about this magnetic board, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better, is the magnets can hold your stuff while you blend, which I am kind of loving. Okay, so I've got this, and I'm really just going to come up from the bottom of the bottle because I want it to be darker towards the bottom, like the liquid is more settled at the bottom, and coming up. So just about halfway, 2/3 maybe. Maybe a little more. So on the watermelon shaker, I used Cherry Pop to shade behind that one. It's really subtle, you guys. It's kind of hard to see. And then on the on the watermelon, yes, watermelon is Cherry Pop, and then on the Lollipop one, I used Dragon Fruit to add the shading in the back. So on this bubblegum one, I'm adding Lollipop ink. All right, let me just clean this up quick. This is just the rubbing alcohol, the isopropyl alcohol. Clean that up. And then I have to do some splattering. And I showed some of this last week. I show splattering all the time. But to add just a little extra texture here on the blending that I did on the cardstock, I'm actually going to drip some of my rubbing alcohol. This is the 91%. And I'm just going to drip that onto the ink. And it's really just going to add a very subtle texture because, of course, I've got the pink ink with the pink cardstock behind. So it's not going to be as bold as if you did it on a piece of white cardstock that you blended color on. It's just going to add just some subtle kind of texture to that. Because our ink does not move with water. So if you drip water on it, it's not going to create much of an effect. But by doing the 91% isopropyl alcohol dripping on it, it does move our ink color. And then of course I need to add splatters because yes. So this is my normal way. I'm just going to do, oh, you guys, I know what I forgot to cut out is I forgot to cut out the little cork for the top of the bottle, and I want splatters on that. So we're going to do that quick. I'm going to do that on with my sidekick here. I'm just cutting that cork out of a piece of toffee cardstock. Trim that down so that'll fit. Otherwise I would have gotten to the end and went, oh no, I forgot the cork. And if you look here, you can see it's very, very subtle, but there's just a tiny little bit of modeling in there to give more of a, I guess, kind of potion type of feel to it. All right, so I love to splatter with chocolate truffle liquid watercolor. So I have it on an acrylic block. I've just dripped it on there and it has dried on there. This is what that looks like. And then I'm just reactivating it to splatter. You don't have to splatter. You can totally skip this part. I love to splatter my stuff. You guys all pretty much know that if you've been following me for a little bit. I just love that extra texture that it adds to my projects. I love all things rustic. So if I'm going to use bright pink, I'm going to tone it down just a little bit with a little bit of splatter. And then for white splatters, because white are my favorite splatters, this is the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. I'm going to pick up a little bit with my water brush. Just going to my brush has a lot of water, so I just want to mix that up a little bit. You can use a regular brush as well. And there we go. And this dries pretty quickly. There are some, I know the black, I haven't worked with the black a whole lot. This one here that we have in the shop, this one I know takes a little bit longer to dry if you use this to do splatters, but really nice dark black splatters. So you just need to get to know the materials that you're using to splatter. This, you know, after years of different things that I'm trying to use, these are the things that I like, and I kind of know how they work and I know how they dry so that I know when I can do more with them. And again, I'm just going to slide these out of here. Where's my little paper piercing tool so I can pick up a little bottle. I'm just going to move those out of the way, wipe this up quick. And that was literally just a paper towel on that glass mat. Okay, maybe I'll zoom out a little bit here so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. Okay, so for the shaker piece, I've got my base and I've got my frame. This is just extra over here, so we'll set that over there. And I need my little acetate piece, which of course, can I see it? I've moved it over here because that's what I need next. There it is. I have recut the acetate pieces before because I couldn't find them, and then of course I find them. So we're just going to add adhesive around the outside of the frame here to put the acetate piece, because this is going to hold all your shaker bits inside. So if you forget to put that there and put it all together and lift it up, it's going to all fall out, which seems like it would be common knowledge. But, you know, things happen and you get excited about what you're creating, and then it just sometimes gets forgotten. I mean, I don't know if you've done that or not. I might have done it before. Okay, so I just used a regular tape runner. You can use whatever adhesive you want. And then I'm just going to add that piece of adhesive into the frame opening. Catherine, the potential mess. I know that I'm a little bit more relaxed about where splatters are. And I can tell you my desk has lots of splatters on it. You can get a box or something like that to splatter into so that it contains the mess. That's what Taylor likes to do. I know a lot of you out there like to do that. So definitely, you know, find something that makes you comfortable for when you splatter. So, okay, so I have a frame and it's got the little piece of acetate in there. Yeah, Rachel just said she uses a splatter box. Use what works for you. Everybody works differently. Okay, so now on the shaker, we need something to connect it together that's going to lift this up so that all of our little shaker bits stay in there and also have room to move around. So we've got our foam sticky strips, which is the perfect thing for shakers. For me, this is a game changer because it's the right height. It's nice and skinny. It's so easy to put on, and you can also, it's very, very flexible. So I usually actually just take the tape off when I'm going around a shape, and this happens to fit perfectly around the top part of this potion bottle, this length of the length of the foam sticky strip. So I'm just going to stick that right behind the frame. So it's really going to be hidden by that frame. And I'm literally just going around and sticking that down and curving that strip as I go. It's very, very flexible. It's very easy to make it into different shapes. So that way you can make your shakers in so many different shapes. So obviously we need a strip across here, and when we're putting the strip there, we want to butt the ends up against the ends of these pieces. You don't want a gap for your shaker bits to come out of. So I am going to just press that in there, and I'm going to grab my scissor here and cut. So it's going to butt right up against the edge of that other piece. The shaker bits I'm putting in this one are pretty chunky, so I don't need to worry too much, but if you have little tiny beads and glitter and different things like that, just be aware of your openings on your shaker. Now, this top neck of the bottle is going to sit here, so if I don't put the foam tape up here, it's not going to lay right. So I also need some pieces up here. All right, so I'm just going to set this aside now because we're ready to set this on top of the base, but I also need shaker bits to put in there. So I did a little bit of die cutting to cut out the hearts that are inside the shakers, and I cut the hearts out of all of the colors I used, so the watermelon, the lollipop, and the gumball, bubble gum. I'm thinking gumball because this heart die is from the Gumball Machine die collection. So you could use any heart die, or maybe you have heart-shaped confetti, or maybe you have sequins that are heart-shaped. Maybe you have something else you want to fill your shaker with. This was perfect from the Gumball Machine die, and it cuts out 6 hearts at one time, so that makes it super fast to cut out a whole bunch at really quickly. I think I talked about this last week. I love when there's a tiny shape and it's repeated so that I can cut out a lot at once. So I'm going to lay these in here, and I'm going to be a little bit fussy about it because I want to make sure my die cuts are, are facing up so that they aren't the back side of the die cut. Not that anybody's going to look super close to that, but so I'm going to put in 6 of each color. Pamela, you knew you were going to need this potion bottle for Valentine's Day. I think we were kind of talking about it when it was released, that this is going to be a good Valentine's Day option with the whole love potion type of theme. Okay, so I got 6 watermelon hearts. I need 6 lollipop hearts. I'm kind of gathering all these towards the middle, and again, I'm laying the die cuts down so that the right side of the die cut is forward. You could just throw them in there, but you know, I'm sure there's others out there like me that this is what you would do. And I'm not super precise in a lot of ways, but sometimes it just needs to be the way it needs to be. So I've got 4, 5, and 6 of the bubblegum hearts, and then I need 6 of the red glitter hearts. So this is red glitter cardstock that I cut those hearts out of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I wanted this to be, you know, I didn't want just a little bit of hearts. I wanted to have substantial hearts in my shaker. And then I did take just a pinch of the bits and pieces, the clay hearts that came out with the Valentine release. So just those little white hearts, that's too many. And just put a few of those in there. Just a few. Okay. So I've made my little pile of shaker goodness in the middle there. And I'm ready to set this down. Trisha, I know part of it is when we are looking for the right color of pink. That's been one of our issues. Just so you all know, we are looking for the pink. It is on our radar. We don't want to bring you a pink that's not right. And I hope you can appreciate that. So I'm literally just setting this, lining it up right over the top of the base potion bottle. I'm pressing it down, and then I'm ready to shake. Look at that. So cute. These are so much fun, you guys. And whenever I give someone a shaker tag or card or whatever, it always just brings a lot of joy, and a lot of people want to shake them and share them and show them. And so, I mean, nothing better. And like I said, with what we've got with the foam strips and the dies that cut everything out, they're fairly easy to put together. Okay, so let's stick our little cork at the top of the, where did my tape go? I just had it, there it is. at the top of the bottle. So I'm going to stick some adhesive, and then we're just going to pop that cork right in the top. Then let's add this to our card base. Again, here's that cute little potion bottle shaped card base. And I'm going to put this adhesive on here because there's a lot going on with this piece. And again, I use my tape runner, but you use whatever adhesive is your favorite to use. Okay, so I'm just gonna, again, line that up right over the top of that. Make sure I'm all connected. And there's that card base on the back. Now, you could obviously, this little potion bottle, you could leave it as is and punch a hole to use it for a tag. You could add this, excuse me, on the front of a card as well. I just thought it would be fun to keep with our TE Maker Challenge theme and do a little shaped card base. Then your little potion bottles can stand up too, which isn't that cute? That's adorable, right? So fun, and your friends are gonna love it. So, okay, so let's dress up our card a little bit more. If you notice, I got a cute little tag at the top here, and then I have a sentiment as well, and I've got an extra glitter heart. So let's put that together. All right, so I am going to use, now, these are, you guys, I'm not going to remember the name. I think Itty Bitty Tag, Little Bitty Tag. You guys are going to correct me and let me know what it is, right? And there's several collections sitting here. I have them all on one of magnetic board because when I'm looking for little tags, then they're all together. But this is the tag I'm using right here. I'll just show you the shape. I don't remember what set it's from, but it's one of those itty bitty tags. Again, there's lots of fun options for tags here. And so we're going to cut that out of a piece of sugar cube cardstock. So again, I've got my trusty sidekick here to do that. Mary, you resisted the potion bottle until now. I think you could have fun with this potion bottle because I think yes, Halloween, but what about like making a cute like potion bottle for a magical birthday party, or if there's a theme thing, and like here we're doing the love potion. I think there's some really fun things that you can do with it. All right, so there's my little tag out of the sugar cube cardstock. I'm just going to set that aside because I've got one more thing to die cut, which is our sentiment. And the sentiment is coming to you from, it's the With Love collection. So this is the sentiment set that came out. This one came out with our Valentine's Day release. There we go. Carrie's got it up there. Itty Bitty Tags 1. I knew you guys are great. You guys are great when I don't write something down, even though in my head, when I was planning the project, I got to write that die name down. And here I am standing in front of you, not remembering. So, oh yeah, Paula said a perfume bottle. That would be adorable too. So again, With Love, and we're going to use this Be Mine sentiment, but I was feeling lazy and I didn't want to stamp it and cut it out. So I went and got my foil it pack, and I'm just going to leave it the black and white. I've got a lot of sparkle going on already, so you don't need to foil these. This one is foiled, so I'm just going to pop that back in there. So I'm just taking one of the Be Mine sentiments, and here is the coordinating die, and let's just get that in place and cut that out. So I love those foil it panels just for, I don't want to stamp it, so I'm just going to cut it out. Let's just do it. And when you're doing Valentine projects, anything to make it easier, right? All right, let's cut this out. So there's our sentiment. There's the love you too. That one would also be cute across the bottle. Happy anniversary, maybe that would be cute for a love potion. That would actually be really cute for a whole love potion theme for an anniversary. Farley, you made a Halloween one for your grandson and he thought it was outstanding. Awesome. I love it. Okay, so we are going to, let's do our tag first. So I'm going to grab one of the little red glitter hearts that I cut out and had in my little I cleaned out my little tray, you guys. Remember you were a couple weeks ago telling me I needed to use my little tray. I cleaned it out. Okay, I need my adhesive again. And I'm gonna just stick a little bit of tape runner on the back of this. Carol, I don't have plans for love potion sentiments, but you never know. You never know what we have up our sleeve. It could be something that happens at some point. There's so many good Valentine sentiments out there to use, so I think you should be able to find something. And literally too, I just added a heart to a white tag, which is definitely gonna say, I am love potion, right? So I think that works too. You could even stamp the heart if you didn't want to use the die cut. Okay, so I've got a bit of the burlap twine, and we're gonna tie this on here. I wanted to kind of wrap it around a little bit, so just bear with me here. Candy hearts would be cute in there too. No splatter on the tag. Sometimes I don't splatter on stuff. So I've wrapped this around like a couple of times, 3 times. And then I'm gonna tie one knot. Whenever I'm doing tags, I generally will tie a knot first and then thread the tag on. Thread that tiny tag on, tie the second knot, and then we'll tie a bow. That's kind of what I generally do. Paula's brainstorming for everybody. She's getting us all the ideas. I love it. So I tied a bow, and I'm just kind of adjusting the size of my loops to something that seems like it works. I am not a fancy bow tire by any means. I gotta wrangle my ends down a little bit. Maybe trim those up just a slight bit more. So there that is. So I did go kind of around, not around the back of the card, but just around that whole front panel part so that the card can still close, but still add that cute little love potion detail. And this is adorable, of course, just like it is. But then when I added the sentiment, I was like, oh, there it is. Barley, that's why I like the burlap twine, because you can usually wrangle it a little bit so that you kind of make the ends go where it is. I've done some of the bow maker tools and stuff. I'm still learning to get along with those. So I would love to have beautiful bows. When I first, way back when, I mean, years ago when stamping was kind of, you know, I don't know, this is way back in the, I don't know, when do you want to call it the beginning? But when I was involved with people online with stamping, this is way back in Split Coast Stamper days, if any of you were there. Remember with the bows, people were so into ribbons and bows, and these cards would have these beautiful layered looped bows on them. And I could never get that look right. Pamela, you remember them? Yes. I was not one of the cards you saw with the great big bow. That was not me. All right, so there is our sentiment on there, which completes our cute little potion bottle card. So now I have 4 cute potion bottles. You guys, I got my little hearts done last week, and now I've got all these cute little potion bottle cards. How fun. How cute. I hope you had fun learning how I created them. So I'm going to flip you guys up to the top here. Hold on. And flip you to the beginning. I'm backwards. Let me shut off this light because it's a little crazy on my glasses. I gave you extra light, but it doesn't work when I'm in front of you like that. So yes, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm picking up all my little potion bottles so we can take one last look at them. These turned out so cute. So it was super fun taking our Halloween potion bottle and creating something for Valentine's Day out of it. So thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you want that glass mat, today's the last day. And if you want to join us for Virtual Stamp Joy, There are spots open. You can register right now if you want. So have a great weekend. Stay safe. I know there's more snowstorms coming through. In the next couple weeks, I will be actually on vacation. So you'll see Susan for a few weeks in a row. So I'll see you in February when I'm back. So bye, everybody. I'll see you later.